There are 500 million small-scale farmers in the world, producing 70% of the world food, but many of them are chronically hungry and lack vital information to boost harvests and address the threats of climate change. This, according to Brigita Nyawira from the Grameen Foundation, can only be achieved through sustainable land management practices.
But on the sustainable land management practices as well, I think we are all cognizant of the challenges of climate challenges around climate, and we within the AgriPath project are promoting adoption of sustainable land management practices. They are better for our environment, the productivity is increased, and we have seen with the farmers that we are working with, there is actually an appreciation of adoption of sustainable land management practices.
The AgriPath project, being implemented by Grameen Foundation in partnership with Kilimo Trust and other organizations, seeks to deliver digital advisory services to help smallholder farmers, especially women and the youth, to adopt effective and sustainable agricultural practices.
Within the AgriPath project, the focus of the advisory information that we are providing through the different extension models that I have talked about are purely on sustainable land management practices. What we have done is, because we know there is a ton of information out there, we have connected to a global database that is called WOCAT, World Overview of Conservation Approaches and Technologies, which is validated by UNCCD. And through that WOCAT database, we are able to provide farmers with information on various sustainable land management practices. The beauty with this database is it's a global database, and so we are able to pull from practices from very different countries around the world to enable farmers to adopt more sustainable land management practices.
Land ownership and information gaps among women and youth are still a challenge despite the critical role they play in the agriculture sector. Rachel Ajambo, the country team leader from Kilimo Trust, says these barriers must be addressed if Uganda is to reach its full potential in the agriculture sector.
One of the ways we can address the gender gap or the barriers is to be intentional, really, and put a lot of emphasis on those sectors that are actually increasing women participation. Things like the community pass card that enables women to be able to access financial services and information via their mobile phone, because we have noticed that they like to use their mobile phone and they can actually access information via their mobile phone. So technologies and sectors that actually employ a lot of women and also are women friendly need to be more supported than they are.
With limited extension services, farmers still struggle to access the information and support they need to improve their practices. This has a direct impact on their productivity and overall livelihood.
The number of farmers increases, while the number of extension workers, especially those supported by government, are limited. So we're talking about one extension worker having to advise about 2,000 farmers, which means that they will not get guidance on how to grow or manage their livestock. They will not get access to the right technologies that they need because they don't have that information.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.